you can tell when your car battery's dying. But with your water heater, you'll never know until it starts leaking. Before you buy another tank, consider a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to heat or leak. Lower energy bills and endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. If your water heater is over 8 years old, it's time to check out Navien at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.
I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
Hey, it's Miles. Thank you guys for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast.
Have you heard our newest podcast? It's called The Greatest Story Never Told.
Download it today on radio.com. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes are uploaded every Tuesday at noon.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Our Men's Room blank question. Once enough time had passed, I finally admitted to doing blank. And here come those emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Couple from our question before we jump into the birthdays. Guys, we had this girl in our neighborhood that was a jerk to everyone, including my younger sister. Well, one day I stole her bike. Then my sister and I volunteered to help her look for that bike the next day. We did not find it.
Oh, damn.
From Jeremy. Guys, in 1987, when I was 16 years old, I lost my virginity to my best friend's 21-year-old sister. I finally told him last year when he and I met up in Vegas for a guy's weekend trip. That from Michael. As we move on to the birthdays, guys, I would like to request a birthday shout-out to my son, Connor. He's a huge fan of your show. Could you give me your penis is too small? And Coach Ted pumping him up about 2021. Thanks, fellas, and keep on rocking. That from her.
I'll tell you what, when you talk about 2021, it's like I tell Jets fans, it can only get better. Jesus. Right? I mean, it's not going to get any worse.
Do you know that?
I don't know that, but Coach has to stay positive. Once I lose the confidence of the players, then we're all screwed.
That's a good point.
Yeah. It's all. Yeah.
Bitches, it's my 31st, and I was hoping to get a good old name-shouting thing. How about a big old Leroy Jenkins, some Thrill Gets, and cap it off with a Joey Chestnut. Thanks, guys. That from Mike in Edmonds.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Joey Chestnut!
Get! Yo, Dick! Can I get a birthday shout-out to my girlfriend, Sarah? I wanted to get her some dirty Germans to talk about what she's going to get later from her plumber boyfriend and remind her that no one likes you when you're 23. First time I've ever emailed for a birthday shout-out. Hope I did this right. That from Tristan.
Yeah, Sarah, your plumber boyfriend, I imagine what he'll give you tonight is pink eye from fecal matter.
Yeah, some of those pipes are going to fit in tight. Some of them are not. I guess it depends on the size of your drain.
Is there hair clogging that drain?
Hopefully not.
All the bitches, I've been a long-time listener. Recently got my girlfriend, Bri, to start listening to your guys' show, and all she talks about is getting her birthday shout-out, so it's her 24th birthday today. Can she get a barbershop fish sandwich? And the Dirty German's talking about how fun it is to work at a tanning salon and how she's going to have the best 5 minutes of her life tonight. Thank you, gentlemen, from the neighborhood fast guy, Tony.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Yeah, I would imagine that the fun at working at the tanning salon, all the hidden cameras you have in the tanning room to look at naked people.
Yeah, we're cleaning up all the sweat and stuff left in the beds.
Yeah.
So no one's had a friend that works at one. Some people leave more than sweat.
Oh, yeah, sounds awesome.
Guys, happy birthday to my boat meat buddy, Angry Andy. He is a fine electrician. Can he get a little turtle wax? We'll cut that bitch off in the middle. And Coach Ted telling him how he should spend his last year in his 20s from fellow boat meat buddy Drewski.
Cut that bitch off! Next caller.
I know, year in the 20s, huh? You got to do what you can't do next year. Have fun. Everybody knows once you turn 30, it's over. Women stop looking at you. The bank starts calling. Hey, you better enjoy this one. After that, it's all about health.
The bank starts calling.
Bitches, I'm back at Disney for my annual pilgrimage celebrating my birthday. How about the dirty Germans giving me advice on how to stay safe? Thanks for all the good laughs. Started listening to the greatest story never told, and I am obsessed. That from the lovely Julia.
Yeah, Julia, what I do is hide inside of one of the mascot outfits. No one knows that it's you, and you can get any ride you want for free. But it is illegal to beat up the person who was originally in the mascot costume.
Yeah, my honest question, number 1, goes to Germany. It's a lovely food hall in there. It's good beer.
Yeah.
Number 2 is be careful. If you want to drink around the world at Epcot, go every other country.
Yeah, and stay away from the fountains or crocodiles in there.
You ever gotten close to finishing that? Drinking around Epcot?
I've done every other country, but trying to do every country's tough.
Can you just do one drink in each place and make it?
You could, but it's like any other bar crawl. Once you start having fun, and then
it's also 90 degrees and humid.
Right. And some of the places you go inside, like you start in Mexico, and they got an awesome little bar in there that's got good margaritas. Or I heard if you go to Japan, you got to go all the way to the back to get the shots of sake. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe you want a Grey Goose slushy in France. And Norway has a log ride. I know a lot about this. Honestly, the only boring one is the USA one, just because it's just burgers, hot dogs, and Bud Light.
Well, yeah, we live here. That's not exciting.
Which is fine, but you have that everywhere on every Saturday. It's America.
Guys, it's my buddy TJ's birthday. A shout out from all his friends back home. Can't wait to toke it up with you when we get back, man. Can he please get a big fat bong rip with an uh-oh lookout in the middle? Thank you, guys, and keep on rocking. That from John and friends.
Uh-oh, look out.
Boom, bitches. Today, my brother-in-law, Newt, pronounced Newt's birthday. He is 47 years young. Can we get the dirty Germans talking about what he and his friends should do to celebrate tonight? Thank you, guys, kindly. That from Greg in Mukilteo.
Yeah, if you want to have a good time on your birthday, you play a little game called Hide Your Fingers.
Yeah. Here's the question. Is it 2 or 3? So that feels like 4.
Yeah.
Those would be your nucles.
Yeah. Hide the nuckle. Hide the nuckle in the blowhole.
Seite der Dorf ist ein Nuckel.
Guys, my husband Joe turns a sexy 51 today. Wondering if you could give a birthday shout out with a big old Leroy Jenkins and a little kid fish sandwich. Those are his favorite. Appreciate it, guys. You are awesome. Thanks from Michelle.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Hi, guys. Here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Couple extra emails here. Thank you, Aubin. Back in Afghanistan 2009, where was there smoke? I was ambushed in a building by bad guys. In the ensuing gunfights, there was so much ordnance and munitions used by both sides that the building actually caught fire and began to collapse. After we killed the bad guys, we had to pump water out of a well to try and save the building. Good times. That from Damon. Guys, 4th of July this year, my wife and I were dead asleep. All of a sudden, our 8-year-old daughter comes in and says, "It is orange outside." I look out the window. It is orange outside. I wake up the wife, tell her to grab the kids and go outside. She looks outside, and there are 10-foot flames. I jump over a table, grab the hose, put the fire out. The firemen actually get there. It was an amber from someone lighting off fireworks that lit our outdoor furniture on fire. The next morning, I realized how much danger I was in when I noticed a propane tank and lighter fluid on each side of me.
Jesus.
The lighter fluid bottle actually was melted. I have no idea why my 8-year-old was up at 3:30 a.m. watching a YouTube video of a lava floor, but man, I'm glad she was. Attached her photos, that from John. Literally, an ember fell on a chair on his deck, lit up both the chairs. Then you see the propane tank. Then you see the melted bottle of, lighter fluid.
It's good to have an insomniac for a child.
He's not kidding. All the Bicholas, I was helping my sister remodel her pool deck and removing concrete. I rented a big-ass concrete cutter thing from Home Depot. It had a spot to hook up a hose, but I figured that was optional. About 30 minutes into cutting the concrete, I got a tap on my shoulder. Turned around to find a police officer behind me. The pool deck almost became a poop deck. Apparently, the hose hookup is not optional. Cutting the concrete deck threw so much dust into the air and across the road behind the house, several calls went into 911 reporting a fire. Cheers, guys. That from E.
Jeez.
Gentlemen, I used to be a Thai food delivery driver. One day we get an order for $50 worth of just appetizers. So I fulfilled the order, and when I got to the guy's house, I knocked on the door. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the scene from Star Wars A New Hope when Vader opens the door and all the smoke billows out. Well, that's what happened when this guy opened the door. There was so much pot smoke, I could barely see inside. He asked, "Are you the food guy?" I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "Sweet." Gave me a $50 tip and a joint. Thanks for everything, Rock, and LARP on, bitches. That from Justin.
LARP on. That's awesome, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Just order that much food.
And bitches, my husband and I were driving on I-25 in Colorado, smoking a joint. The windows in the car we were driving didn't roll down, but it did have a sunroof. So as you can imagine, car was completely hotboxed. Then all of a sudden we see lights flashing behind us. So we're pulled over. We open the sunroof and the smoke is billowing out. As the cop is walking up, the only way we can even hand over the license and registration was to open the car door. So as you can imagine, the smoke is pouring out of the car, and the cop walks up. The funny thing was the smile he had on his face. Anyway, he asked for the driver's license, then proceeds to explain why he pulled us over, then says he'll be right back. Naturally, we're essing our pants, lighting cigs, preparing to go to jail. Then a few minutes later, the cop comes back, and my husband opens the door again, and the cop hands him back his ID and says, "Make sure you guys fix that taillight. Have a great night." Blew our effing minds. I love you guys. Thanks for always making me laugh on the long commute home. That from Christy.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks last?
Yay! Time for Who Sucks Last. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. All of them suck to some degree, but it's up to us to figure out, of the 3 stories, which of the 3 suck the least. Now, if you like KISW on Facebook, or you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yeah, and as you said, I always try to find 3 stories, and I try to make all 3 stories relative to each other, so that there's no clear-cut winner or a loser. In this case, all 3 stories revolve around the wonderful world of flatulence. But let's start 36,000 feet above planet Earth. On a flight from Houston, Texas to Seattle, Washington, a flatulent man, well, he ignored most of the unspoken courtesies and chose to mitigate his internal discomfort by repeatedly farting for the duration of a 4.5-hour flight. Now, this is hardly new, but this particular bout of flatulence was notably pungent. And this was apparent to both the farter and the bulk of the plane's passengers. There was no question that the other passengers were getting a whiff of what this man was, quote-unquote, cooking, because disgusted faces and angry mumbles confirmed this. Now, as it happened, the guilty party was seated behind an elderly couple, in front of a row of children, and across the aisle from a man of larger carriage. Knowing that most people would assume that the flatulence originated from the elderly, the adolescent, or the rotund, the man continued farting and stinking up the plane with impunity. Meanwhile, true to his assumption, the other passengers telegraphed their displeasure by mean-mugging the elderly couple, the children, and the heavy-set man. Even after the flight landed and the passengers reunited to baggage claim, there was still some residual irritation about having to endure the reeking stench for so many hours. Now, the man never claimed responsibility until his wife, who'd also been fooled into thinking it was someone else, confronted him about it sometime later. Now we go right here to Seattle, Washington, where on a routine workday, a group of department heads and other management, they were in a scheduled closed-door meeting. Now, the meeting itself was in a conference room. That conference room had 2 doors. During the meeting, an employee who was neither invited nor involved in the meeting opened one of the doors to the conference room and interrupted. While everyone looked up to see what he wanted, the employee said nothing, choosing instead to slowly walk the length of the conference table while audibly farting. He farted from one end of the table to the other before exiting the room via the second door. There were both protests and complaints from those in attendance as the smell began to fill the room. Within seconds, the meeting was adjourned and rescheduled for a later time. And finally, we go to Baltimore, Maryland, where at a corporate office, a small group of employees were being reprimanded and disciplined by a manager for a prior workplace infraction. Now, due to the nature of the disciplinary action, a corporate witness also had to be present. After the employees were informed of the nature of their offense and described a multitude of disciplinary outcomes, they were asked by the manager if they had anything to say for themselves. Their response was nonverbal, but clearly audible, as one of the 3 employees farted a fart that was quite long, quite vulgar, After an awkward silence, marred only by the stifled laughter of the corporate witness, the manager asked, quote, "Why did you have to do that?" The response from the employee was, quote, "You asked us what we had to say, and I think I spoke for all of us." The disciplinary meeting was cut short, and the employees returned to work. So those are your three stories. If a guy couldn't stop farting on a plane, everyone else is not outwardly blaming other culprits, but they made it clear they thought someone else was responsible. We have a guy who walked into a meeting he had nothing to do with, just a fart in the middle of their meeting. They ended up canceling the meeting. It smelled so bad. And then finally, a man in Baltimore who, in response to what you have to say for yourself for manager, farted at him.
Okay. I think, Ted, that the guy on the flight from Houston to Seattle, he sucks the most. The guy who was blowing up the airplane. The reason is this. You can always go to the bathroom and fart your head off if you want to, right?
You could. I mean, I tried to.
Yeah, exactly. When you get in there, take your time and fart. There was there was no place for these passengers to escape.
Nothing.
And there was nothing stopping this person from continuing to fart. They were essentially trapped in the area, and there was nothing that they can do to escape. Now, as far as the meeting in Seattle, there are two doors to this meeting. If I recall the story correctly, that meeting was immediately adjourned. So not only
I believe
did this happen,
before the culprit even made it to the second door, everyone started getting up in the meeting.
They were able to escape the room.
It should be pointed out that one of the meeting attendants later approached this guy and said thank you because the meeting had been running long and was getting boring.
Now, the guy in Baltimore, I believe that he sucks the least. They were getting reprimanded for whatever it was, and I'm sure it was not necessary. And knowing the situation and the people involved, I'm sure that the punishment did not fit the crime one way or another. And the fact is that this meeting was going way too long for absolutely no reason other than for the management to belittle the employees. When asked if there was anything that anyone would like to say, the simple response was a fart, which everyone in that office agreed to was exactly how we felt about the situation. So in my mind, the guy in the Baltimore meeting sucks the least. The flight sucks the most, based on the non-escape aspect of it.
You know, Miles, today I'm inclined to agree with you.
I would agree with you, too. I would just point out one caveat. While I understand that on the plane, it does suck for everyone else. But I also believe that's what made it funny.
Yeah. And Ted, you couldn't help the gas, but now you know that you just need to go into the bathroom to use the bathroom and fart in there next time.
Right, that's my issue with plane guy, too. Is I've been the heavyset guy on the plane, getting dirty looks for people right? Because whenever you smell that whiff of the fart, it's like, man, somebody's going to blame. Like,
it's the fat guy.
It's not me.
Yeah.
But somebody's going to blame you. But yeah, the dude in Baltimore, he was just doing his thing, helping out.
Again, to be fair, the guy on the plane, some people thought it was the big guy. Some people thought it was the children. A lot of people thought it was the elderly couple, including the guy's wife.
Most people
was
agree with
getting
us.
really mad, saying, I cannot believe this whole guy keeps farting this entire flight.
If you like KISW on Facebook, Nathan says, the guy in Baltimore sucks the least. The other two people are causing grief to people who did nothing to deserve it. The guy in Baltimore was given the floor, took full advantage.
Given the floor.
Steve agrees, yeah. The thunderous fart is a perfect response to chewing out and a reprimand. The man is a hero and responded appropriately.
A lot of people are saying it. The guy who simply responded to the question sucks the least.
Yeah, Phil says we all know that all these three stories are thrill.
I would never do that.
Yeah.
I would never do any of those.
Brian says thrill sucks the least. If you'd like to comment on who sucks less, like the men's room there at KISW.com on Facebook.
No one thinks about their old hot water heater until they run out of hot water.
Oh, no.
Or until it starts leaking.
Oh, no.
If your tank water heater is over 8 years old, a leak could cost you a lot more than higher energy bills. Consider upgrading to a Navien tankless water heater. No tank to heat or leak. And endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. Navien turns...
Oh, no.
...into...
Oh, yes.
Visit tanklessmadesimple.com.
I was at home and I get this call from Ring.
We just received a fire alarm. All okay?
My fire alarm in our cottage was going off. And then it hit me. My parents are at the cottage. The fire had started in the chimney and spread to the roof. Ring Alarm Professional Monitoring dispatched the fire department before we even could dial 911. My name is Kevin, and Ring Alarm helped save our family cottage.
Protect your home today with Ring Alarm. Go to ring.com/Odyssey. That's ring.com/Odyssey.
The men's room is in progress. 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle.
Coming up in just minutes, we will drink, we will toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, a quick check-in with Mike Hahn and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, McDonald's has launched their line of spicy nuggets.
Oh, yeah, I heard something about that. The hell took them so long?
I'm in, to be honest with you. I like a little spice with a nugget.
I agree.
You know it's not going to be
out?
that spicy.
Yeah.
Why are you out with spicy nuggets?
It's not going to be spicy.
You don't like spicy nuggets?
I don't. I'm
Can't
a regular
handle
nugget.
spicy.
Oh, right.
But I agree with you, Miles. Whenever a chain releases something that's spicy, it's not that hot.
No, it's not.
You haven't had the spicy at Popeyes.
That's fair.
It's good.
You know,
really
I got to
good.
go to it, though.
Yeah.
I just feel like, well,
I mean, look,
Popeye's go-to audience better be spicy if you're going to say it's spicy.
If someone
like,
says
come on.
they've got a Nashville hot sandwich or something like that, it's going to be hotter than most of your regular hot products. Other than that, not a lot of mainstream stuff out there that's really going to rip you up.
Right. Unless they actually, I think there was a jalapeno burger at Burger King at one point or something, you know, the Texas Double Whopper or something like that.
Yeah, just the older every year that passes, I just get less and less with spice.
Yeah.
Because it brings more and more pain.
Yeah, it's pathetic.
See, I'm actually going in the opposite direction. I avoided spice when I was younger, but now I'm actually starting to get the flavor and the taste of the spice. So now it's not so much about the intensity. You know, there's bros out there that the hotter the better, and as long as they just don't cry, then they're good. But like, I'm actually starting to taste what that spice brings to it, and I enjoy it.
There you go, Mike.
Yeah.
Step into spice.
Look at me go.
Spicy.
That's just the weed talking.
That might have something to do with it.
I'm a changed man, Ted. There's a listing for a condo in Florida where the walls and the ceiling are lined with Budweiser cans.
Okay, what are they asking for?
It's going to look good when I'm done.
Oh, that's a good question. What are they asking for? I'm not working on it, but you know what? I will. For you, I will work on just how much that thing is going for, and I guarantee you, they got a photo here somewhere. And then we just did, talk amongst yourselves as we're looking at this
we'll
thing
wait.
here. Yeah, I know you will.
We'll wait for you, Mike.
See, this is why I'm not working on it, because I know that these questions are going to come up, and I don't have the doggone answer for you guys, doggone it.
By the way, a comment came in regarding the McDonald's spicy nuggets. Someone says they are super spicy.
Are they? Oh, then I'm in.
No kidding.
Okay.
Good. I'll try it, man.
Yeah, like KFC has a whole line of wings and like a couple of the flavors. I was like, ooh, that's way too much.
All right, that condo in Florida that had the beer cans that were lining the walls and the ceiling, a crisp $100,000. That's after a $10,000 lowered
price.
Oh, really? They had to drop the price?
They did.
Shocking.
Nobody was jumping up on that bad boy. Oh, dear, here. Okay, a couple in Oklahoma celebrated their divorce by doing a photo shoot together.
I think it's a great idea.
You know, like a lot of people get their wedding photos done. Yeah, they did their divorce photos done. You think it's a great idea?
I do.
If you get along well enough, you know what I mean? Like, people get divorced for different reasons. Right. But if you get along well enough where it's like, look, we just can't be together, but I don't hate you, get the picture. Why not? But compare it to your wedding picture. Look at all the hair loss and weight gain.
Fair.
They look better now.
I was going to say, if they're getting divorced, one of them's thin.
Not yet. Not yet. Not until it's
somebody's
official.
got some side action trying to look better.
Right. One of them's bent it back. Someone in New Jersey spotted a UFO that turned out to be the Goodyear blimp.
Well, if they can't identify it,
it's awfully slow.
Exactly.
But if there is a blimp that you should be able to identify, it is the Goodyear blimp.
That's why I didn't get all excited when everybody said, oh, UFOs actually exist. Okay, let's look at what a UFO is. An unidentified flying object. That means if I throw a Frisbee off the top of this building, that is technically a UFO to a lot of people that have no idea that it's a doggone Frisbee.
Sure. Well, those 4 U.S. Navy pilots off the coast of San Diego, they all saw what they saw. So,
Frisbees.
Frisbees, mate.
Frisbees. By the way, we get another comment. My wife, Katrina, works at the Stanwood McDonald's. She woke me up at 1 o'clock this morning with boxes of spicy nuggets. It was amazing. They have a new hot sauce, and I'm going to put strictly on some barbecue wings. Cool. All right. This is a good sign.
All right, maybe
I've been to that McDonald's.
Someone else says, hey, white people like Popeyes, too. I don't know what you think I was implying. I just said,
Yeah, great chicken. I love Popeyes.
Target audience.
Popeyes is great.
They're
They're
going to say it's
fantastic.
spicy. You better be spicy.
Well, your target audience is Cajun, dude.
Right. Fried chicken, fried shrimp, biscuits.
Moving on. People in the UK complained after they saw a coupon for a, quote, woman's spray mop.
What's a woman's spray mop?
It is a spray mop that is used by a woman would be my guess there, Ted.
Problem's not the spray mop. It's the woman's spray mop.
Can you show me the men's model spray mop?
Yeah, it's the woman who's buying the spray mop, right? That's
Oh, it's like a legit mop.
Right.
Yes.
I thought it was like
You know,
a
like those
sexual
Swiffer
thing.
mops that you have a little trigger on it and it kind of sprays down there.
sex thing?
Yeah. Like it's a lady spray mop. That's also like, what's a spray mop?
Clean and freshen up.
From Lady Spray.
You didn't know you're bringing someone home tonight? The Lady Spray Mop.
Doggone it. All right, gentlemen, I'll give you your choice. Do we want to hear about going to the office, or do we want to hear about saggy boobs?
I want to hear about saggy boobs.
I guess.
I'd like to hear about going to the office.
Sorry, Ted, you were outvoted 2-3. Let's go over here. We got a new survey. A plastic surgeon recently talked about bad habits that can cause saggy boobs. And it also says, it actually makes a note. It says, guys over 40, we're talking to you too. And I'm pretty sure that just about encompasses everybody in this room.
Yes, it does.
On that side of the desk. Let's see here.
On that side of the desk.
So these are the 5 bad habits that cause saggy boobs. Number 5 is smoking.
Okay.
Says it's bad for our skin in general because it destroys collagen along with a key protein that keeps your skin nice and bouncy. And that includes the skin on your chest.
Okay.
So beware of smoking. These are the 5 bad habits that cause saggy boobs. Number 4, sleeping on your side. I've actually heard this one before. Over the years, it can cause the ligament in your chest to stretch, and sleeping on your stomach isn't great either. So on your back is best, or if you're a side sleeper, you can use a pillow to help support them.
Oh, you need a boob pillow.
Right.
Get the McDonald's chicken nugget boob pillow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And use that and then eat some spicy nuggets.
Wasn't that one of those, as seen on TV, late night deals that they actually tried to sell women was a boob brace, basically, that you stuffed in your cleavage if you were a side sleeper?
I don't know. That sounds very specific, so I'm going to believe it. That can't be a fantasy of yours. So oh, man.
Just, it was one of those dumb things. It was a, $4 piece of plastic that they tried to pawn off to people for $19.99.
I wonder if we make your penis bigger then. Right, if I'm sleeping on my side, if it's just gravity pulling on it.
I'll sleep on my side.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I'm a side sleeper. It doesn't. These are the 5 bad habits that cause saggy boobs. Number 3, going braless all the time. Bras keep things from moving around too much, which can cause your skin to stretch over time.
Okay.
Guilty.
I've also heard an argument in the opposite direction. I could have sworn that I heard that wearing a bra weakens a certain muscle that kind of keeps everything
because it's not doing anything, right?
Right. So the muscle kind of it atrophies. So when the brassiere finally does come off, down they go.
Ladies, you can't win. Your boobs are going to be saggy.
They're saggy.
Your babs, Jesus.
And guys over 40.
And guys, yes.
These are 5 bad habits that cause saggy boobs. Number 2, losing too much weight too fast. Everything tends to get a little looser if your skin doesn't have time to adjust. Which makes sense.
Are there a lot of people having that problem in the U.S.?
You're probably sick. I mean, if that happens, if you lose weight too fast, right. Typically you've got something wrong with you.
Or you've done something. They get a surgery that just drains the weight right off of them.
By the way, did you see there's a woman in Tijuana, Mexico. I don't know if she's from there, but she got plastic surgery there. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, oh man, getting plastic surgery in Tijuana sounds like a bad idea, you're right.
Yes, it is.
So she got a boob job and like a tummy tuck. Long story short, her stomach, they showed a picture of that. It looks like someone hit her with a tractor. The scarring is so bad. But on her boobs, I don't know where her boob sits now, but I believe it's her right breast.
I remember this.
The nipple is on top of her boob. Ooh. Like not the top where it's supposed to be, but top like if you physically lifted it up toward her shoulder.
Ooh.
So don't get plastic surgery in Tijuana.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Woof. And this is the number 1 bad habit that will cause saggy boobs. There's a lot of disappointment right now. Don't get too much sun. Too much of it can damage the skin on your chest, cause wrinkles, and limit how elastic your skin is, so it can't hold everything up as well.
See,
good news, Seattle.
Yeah, when I think of the country of France, right, and you think of the women there, and they are ridiculously skinny, a lot of the times they do not wear bras.
Nope.
They get sun constantly. They smoke cigarettes.
They do
And they have the perkiest bodies and the most tight...
Oui.
I'm not kidding you.
Like they're not known for having bigger boobs. Like America's known for having bigger boobs.
Well, that's true, too, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. They want their boobs to sag.
Back to the good news stories here. An 18-year-old in Connecticut saved a mother and her 3 children after noticing their car had caught fire. An 18-year-old dove in, man, and got them all out of there. Good for him. A teacher celebrated the return of her students with a parody of the Friends theme that talked about socially distant schooling.
Oh, God. I hate that song. I really do. I don't know what it is about the Friends theme. It makes me just want to punch people.
Do you think that the students could relate to this?
No.
isn't this a little bit past their prime as far as being able to? This was not part of their childhood, correct? Unless they got on Netflix and watched it.
I was going to say, didn't you say your kids watched it all?
They did, but they were also 20 years old. So like I'm thinking to myself, if this is like middle schoolers or whatever, do they even know what Friends is?
Right.
Yeah, but all they need is a song with words.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
You know what I
is-
mean?
Yeah.
And it is a pretty iconic theme song, and not to mention that show hasn't slowed down. You know, there was competition over who got to stream Friends, and there was a big outcry when Friends left this one streaming service to go to another. So I think it's actually saturated enough to where they've at least heard of it and know about the
Or it
song.
might be like Andy Griffith was for us. Everyone knows the wrestling song, but that ass was not, quote unquote, on when we were kids.
That's whenever you have a teacher that puts in like extra effort or whatever. I mean, I can think of teachers right now that kind of did crazy stuff in class, but it's like it makes an impression.
Right.
You care more about
I
the
like
class.
good grades and I cannot lie.
Right. The kids think it's stupid, but they also appreciate that you went that extra mile.
Yeah.
Or they think you're an idiot.
A woman in New York kept herself and her granddaughter busy during the lockdown by making homes for mythical creatures and ended up making 14 tiny houses complete with virtual tours on YouTube.
Tiny houses. What kind of creatures?
Fairies and whatnot. Fairies, elves, leprechauns.
You be you.
Anything tiny.
Right. I'm like, so.
Yeah, they're not making a troll house, Ted.
No, I didn't know if they were going to make like a dragon hut.
Right.
Dragon hut.
Would you eat troll house cookies? I would.
I would too.
You bet.
Sure.
Every fifth one makes you insane. Right?
Don't eat the whole thing.
You'll end up with warts.
Not fulfilled after buying 130 lunches for his local police department. A man in Virginia doubled down and bought lunch for his entire fire department as well.
Good Lord.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
So he bought 130 lunches for the police department just a few months back.
All right.
And then he was like, you know what? I ain't done it. So he bought lunch for the entire fire department as well.
Nice.
That is
Good
very
times.
cool.
Police are trying to track down a man that fled a traffic stop, but he left something behind.
What do you leave behind?
Tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. In the meantime, let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This. We'll take caller 9 at 206-421-ROCK. All right, Mike, we made it to drinking time.
You can tell when your car battery's dying. But with your water heater, you'll never know until it starts leaking. Before you buy another tank, consider a Navien tankless water heater. No storage tank to heat or leak. Lower energy bills and endless hot water for spa-like comfort. All backed by Navien's strong warranty. If your water heater is over 8 years old, it's time to check out Navien at tanklessmadesimple.com.
Count on Navien.